Sometimes you just got to find an old dirt road and go where it takes you. Dirt roads give me a peace of mind. These dirt roads are the less traveled, and they are the roads to adventure and often lead to beautiful destinations. Today, I am going to drive far up through some mountains to go see this pretty historical lake, and beautiful. But there's a lot of history to this lake. The name of this lake is Horsethief Basin Lake. And it's pretty high up in the mountains. Like 33 miles off-roading up through mountains. Now, just real quick, the reason why it's called Horsethief Basin Lake is because back in the early 1900s, these thieves used to go and steal people's ranchers' horses from all over the region and the state of Arizona. And they would take them all the way up through these mountains and hide them out up there at the lake. That's pretty interesting because that's pretty far up the lake. They had to go with some horses and hide them up there. So we're going to go check out this lake. It's in Prescott National Forest in Arizona. And I'm pretty excited because I heard the drive up there is beautiful too. And even though there's a lot of history to this place, I'm going to wait to give you guys that history as we're driving up the road, because I want to be able to film that whole entire drive going up there because I heard it was really pretty. So I'm only filming the last 7.5 miles of the road because I've already driven 26 miles of the road. So where I'm at right now is 26 miles up through the mountains. So it's another 7.5 miles to get to the lake, but I heard it was an absolutely beautiful drive. Well, I expected this drive up the mountains to be steep, but as soon as I saw the switchbacks, I knew it was going to be an intense drive up these mountains. Switchbacks are these curves on the road that you see. A switchback is often seen on a steep incline where a trail or road zigs back and forth on the side of a mountain, with an almost 180-degree turn on each end. It makes it easier to go up these mountains. Switchbacks on hills and mountains also reduce the grade of the trail or road. It helps prevent erosion and keeps the trails safe and consistent. The steeper a mountain gets, the more likely erosion naturally happens, particularly when you add traffic to it, which loosens and wears down the earth. Okay, just had to pull over right there because this is a beautiful view, and this will kind of give you guys, it'll kind of show how high up I am on the mountain, because I'm overlooking, I'm on top of other mountains. Like, look at that. I'm pretty freaking far up high on this mountain. What a freaking beautiful view, though. Look at that. Beautiful. The road up this mountain was made because in 1924, plans were made to make Horsethief Basin a developed summer resort. They planned to build a resort capable of hosting 3,000 people. Due to the scenic area and the basin surrounded by high peaks with magnificent views, they thought this would be a good area for a resort. So a great deal of planning and effort went into the idea. However, Progress was slow, and by the time the Great Depression struck, only this road up to the Basin had been completed, and the resort plans were forgotten. At the time, many thought Horsethief Basin was ruined by the coming of the Depression. Today, many believe the Great Depression saved it. Wow, what a freaking drive. I have a thing about heights in my Jeep. Like, I know I used to do a lot of rock crawling back in the day and some crazy stuff with that Jeep right there. But when it comes to climbing up mountains and being on the side of the mountain, on the edge of the cliff, pretty high up, and just going straight up, yeah, I have an issue with that. So that was a little nerve-wracking drive for me, because there were some areas where I was on the side of the freaking mountain. But I really wanted to come see this beautiful lake right here. And this lake is called Horsethief Basin Lake. What kind of fish are in here? Apparently there's largemouth bass in this lake. There's like some noise over here. I can't figure out what the noise is. Obviously sounds like a creature of some sort. So the locals in the town down the road, one of the firemen told me that there is bears in the area, and they've already spotted a few bears. And they spotted a cinnamon blonde bear that's pretty big up here at this lake. So there's a bear somewhere out here. So I'm not venturing too far off from my Jeep, because, well, I know I talk about how I've been doing this for almost 3 years, and last year I was in the Pacific Northwest in the forest and the mountains and everything. It's like the littlest noises are spooking me. And I've never seen a wild bear, which is so crazy, especially some of the places I've been to and camped. But I'd prefer not to see a wild bear when I'm like out just walking around. Maybe if I'm in my Jeep and driving away from the bear, it would be fine. But yeah, so I'm not venturing off too far, and I left little one inside of the Jeep just in case an incident happens. So it's 33 miles off-roading up. I'm not even kidding when I say up through mountains. And those mountains are called the Bradshaw Mountains. to get to this. And I really wish there wasn't bears in the area, because there is a trail that goes around the lake. And that would be so nice to be able to just walk the trail around the lake, because I'm sure the scenery is different way back there. And I'm sure a little one would like to go for a walk. But I'm not a professional when it comes to bear country. I know what you're supposed to do when you see a bear and everything. And they do say when you see a bear, a black bear, that you're supposed to raise your arms up in the air and don't scream, but talk calmly and tell the bear to go away. But you got to raise your hands, both of them up in the air, to make yourself look big. And well, I'm a short, tiny girl. So I think if I was to raise my hands up in the air, that bear's going to laugh at me, because I'm still going to be tiny. But what a beautiful area. That drive was absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. 33 miles up through the mountains. Off-roading. Up. So yeah, I don't want to venture off too far. All right, let's get one more view of this lake. So if you're in the Arizona area, Prescott National Forest, because this is in the Prescott National Forest area, and you have a four-wheel drive vehicle, it's worth the drive up here. It really is. I mean, I know it's 33 miles up the road, but there's a lot to see along the drive. Lots of mines, a ghost town, and then another little town that has a population of like 70-something people, and that's like 26 miles into the drive up the mountains. And it's an actual town. They have like a couple restaurants, a general store, a little farmer's market, little fire department. It's crazy. So crazy that there's a small little town like that 26 miles up through the mountains off-roading. So yeah, tons of things to see off the drive. And then there's a Jeep trail. I think it's on, this is part of Senator Highway right here. It's not a highway, that's just the name of the road. But the road, Senator Highway to Crown King, is a Jeep Badge of Honor trail. If you guys don't know what Jeep Badge of Honors are, then it's this program, and they have these certain trails all over the United States, and you can go do those trails and then submit that you did the trail, and you actually have to, it's GPS location, so you have to tag yourself there through the app to let them know that you're doing the trail, because otherwise people would be lying. But like I have a couple, so they send you these badges. It's a badge of honor. A lot of them are really difficult trails. All the badge of honors that I have on here are difficult trails, except for one. One was like not so bad, but the rest of them that I have on here are from my rock crawling days. So they're the Badge of Honor trails. These are from Moab, Utah. And over here, Sedona, Arizona. That was the easy one right there. That's from good old Vegas. I think that's the only Jeep Badge of Honor trail in Vegas. That one was difficult. That was definitely difficult. So, I'm not going to stay up here too long. I wanted to come out here and film like 2 videos. And I was hoping that there would be other people out here, because it is the weekend. And this is an off-road destination. But I am out here a little early. So if there would have been other people out here, I would have felt a little bit more comfortable staying up here. Because, well, if there was a bear in the area and I was busy trying to film, other people would be yelling, "Bear!" And because I'm up here by myself, I need to be on alert at all times. So, look at these branches on this tree. They're like purple and red. Purple and red branches. That's pretty cool. Oh, and by the way, this area that I'm in right now, it's a little over 6,000 feet in elevation. So, I think coming up the mountain, if I'm not mistaken, because I looked at the elevation at the bottom of the mountain, it was like 2,000 and something feet. So going up the mountain, you're like gaining like almost 4,000 feet in elevation. That's a steep drive. Thank God I have that. But I'm not gonna lie. This is a sports mode, my Jeep. So meaning, it's a manual, but I can shift it on over to where I'm shifting the gears myself. And coming up this mountain, I didn't go over second gear because I shifted coming up the mountain myself. So, alright, guess we're gonna head back down. That's gonna be some steep drop-offs going down on the edge of the mountain. I just gotta try not to look out my windows. I gotta look forward. This was such a beautiful and peaceful drive up through these mountains with not another soul in sight. When I drive through these mountains and I'm the only one on that mountain road, it's like therapy for my soul, where every curve in the road, it brings serenity to my mind. Wish I could put my drone up and get that view out there, but because of how high I'm up, the wind is pretty windy up here. And I'm not going to put my drone up over all that. And the wind knocks it down. So, alright. You ready to go down this mountain, Jeep? I'm not ready. I think it's probably going to be worse and scarier going down those really steep parts that I came up, because those parts, I believe, are where it's on the side of the mountain. So just gonna have to take it really, really slow and keep it in first gear. All right, let's go.
Driving on mountain roads is a dance with destiny, where every curve reveals a new horizon, and every ascent brings us closer to the sky. It's not just about the destination, but the journey that tests our skills, heightens our senses, and fills our hearts with the beauty of the wilderness. In the twists and turns, we find freedom. In the steep inclines, we discover strength. And in the breathtaking views, we encounter the essence of life's adventure.